League is on the air. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Packer team as we enter play here. They come in playing pretty good football, winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they can.
No 2 NFL teams have played more often than the Bears and Packers, and we're underway from Lambeau. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. 6'4" Jordan Love taking the field for the first time. The 2020 first-round pick from Utah State set to lead Green Bay.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him to win. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. Christian Watson, the man he was looking for. And now it's 2nd down. You look at this Bears defense. This crew against the pass, issues at times, ranked number 24, Charles, in the NFL.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft.
It's caught inside the 25. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 49 yards.
And this offense has come out swinging here in the early going. They pick up a nice chunk on that pitch and catch. And the 2 of them have this offense moving in the right direction to start this game.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Love. And that is going to be incomplete as he let him a bit too much.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. This defense for the Bears, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Seattle.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or 2 short. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th. The kick by McManus is good. And the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead. Had just the one big play on the drive, but that was enough to put him in field goal range.
Yeah, one big play of what they hope will be many others throughout the game. Every team has a different target for the number of plays like that, those explosives that we talk about. That allowed him to put points on the board on that drive. Let's see how the rest of the game goes.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. So here now the Bears offense for their first drive of the game. They'll be led out by their rookie quarterback, the latest in a long line of NFL QBs from USC.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yards with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Working out of the gun, Williams. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Well, if they have any thoughts of coming in here and getting this road victory, that's not the way to start it out on the first play of the game.
Yeah, one thing you always say when you go on the road, take the crowd out of the game. They actually brought the crowd into it by permitting that sack right out of the gate.
After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Off the bootleg, it's Williams. A quick throw there is incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
And that is incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. That's taken at around the 40. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
On play action. Love to throw. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Haven't met a corner that's worth his salt yet that ever admits to worrying about man coverage. How about the play there, breaking that pass up?
Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
A lot depended on the spot there, and he got it. But it wasn't by much, was it? I remember Coach Madden talking about, depending on which foot the official used, that would tell you whether you had the first down or not. You want that upfield foot to be the one that spots the ball, don't you?
And you and I have the luxury of a couple extra views here in the booth, and he did get it, but not by much. That one goes for 30 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Here's Jacobs. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. One more time with Jacobs. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say...
And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Montez Sweat drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal? That's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down.
A 30-yard attempt.
The kick by McManus is good, and that will make it 6-0. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Man, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs probably head to the offseason. What spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
He'll drop this one off to Swift. 5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Packer pressure, and down he goes. Rashawn Gary Able to get in there and drop him behind the line. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. The Packers offense and quarterback Jordan Love heading back out onto the field. And he's off to a fast start throwing the football. Pretty good numbers already for just the first quarter of play. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Here's 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
In motion goes the tight end. To pass, here's Jordan Love. Throw left side complete. That's Jacobs. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up 3rd. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Love from the gun. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Here's Jacobs from the gun. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. 13 yards, first down, Packers.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Now Love. Short throw, he's got Kraft. Only able to gain a couple there, and it'll be second down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Flushed out right. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
I can't be sure how much of that was planned pre-snap, but it certainly opens up some avenues for their offense. And if he can stay a threat to break off those kind of runs, it'll pull defenders away from coverage and open up some choice throwing lanes for him moving forward.
This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3.
Holding offense.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Love looking to throw it. He'll go over the middle to Reed, complete. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. It's the Packers in possession of the football as they go to work on a 1st and goal. To throw now, here's Love. And it's a Packers touchdown. Josh Jacobs hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Packers are able to add on to that lead. Well, CD, you know he's got great options at wide receiver, tight end, but there he looks to the backfield, and it results in a touchdown.
I love how you laid that out. So many options. You maybe forget about some of the ones that you should be covering. And they made them pay with that one, didn't they? You forget about the guys in the backfield, they're eligible too.
McManus's point after is good, and the lead now stands at 13. A 10-play drive that time, and it ends with a Packers touchdown. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. To the air, Williams. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. On play action, here's Williams. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Kenny Clark able to drop him for a loss of 4 from his defensive tackle spot. But he continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. And these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A great effort there. 61 yards. And the Bears are back within a score. Well, Charles, kind of the future of this franchise on display right there. You had a rookie throwing it, a rookie catching it, and taking it into the end zone.
Could you imagine if we were in the owner's box right now and we could look at the front office and see the grins on their faces, to see the present making plays and knowing what the future will bring with these youngsters going out and making big-time moments happen for this team.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Here comes the offense again, and let's focus on Josh Jacobs for a moment. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
Well, now he's looking just to add to his totals. Dayo Odeyingbo just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Here's a handoff to Jacobs running left. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long. They will run the draw with Jacobs fighting through. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a fourth down.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
On fourth down, the Packers call on Daniel Whelan to punt. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Dancing away at the 30. 42-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Bears take over. The Chicago offense set to get started. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
To throw, Williams. That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the first down due to the previous penalty. They'll come up on a 2nd and 4 now from the 40-yard line. Here's Williams. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 and a first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Right back to Swift again on second down. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. 3 yards to go on second down, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. Jumbo set. Throwing is Williams. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
7th play in this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Looking to throw is Williams. And he's going to go down again. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
Here comes the offense again, and let's focus on Josh Jacobs for a moment. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's got a man complete. And he takes this thing way down into Chicago territory. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 68 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
Love now. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Romeo Doubs, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Packers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And you know, they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. And his throw here is incomplete. These two teams, you may remember, they met up at Soldier Field earlier this season with the Bears winning that one. So a victory here in Lambeau would give them a sweep of the season series. And firing a deep ball for Kmet. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Right where this setup down started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Devontae Wyatt In there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Packers offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Throwing. Love. Now he'll escape to his right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards.
Certainly not the way they drew it up in the playbook, but that's why they love this guy back there. He sees things breaking down, and he's more than capable of finding an escape route and still getting a decent gain.
Short throw. He's got Kraft. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it'll be 2nd down.
2nd and 6 at the 35-yard line.
Jacobs going to try the middle. A solid stiff arm. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. 70 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Here's Love. Touchdown, Packers! Romeo Doubs with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. As his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. In the 2nd quarter, and already his 2nd touchdown reception.
Absolutely the definition of a difference maker here in this first half. Clearly one of his quarterback's favorite targets in this game, and I figure he's going to draw a little more attention and coverage moving forward.
Extra point from McManus is good, and that pushes the lead up to an even 20. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. The Bears offense ready to get going again. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
To throw, it's Williams. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Williams. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Here comes the Bears punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That's pulled in at the 32. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And out will come the offense as they take over. The home team's offense and running back Josh Jacobs set to take over once more. And as a play caller, when you've got a guy who's running like this, you lean on him and your offensive line. He's had big hole after big hole to run through in this first half. Throw right side, hauled in by Dobbs. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That one goes for 24 yards. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Love. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. Oh, and that is incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in this first half, but this time they're able to hem him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know will be right back in the pocket. In this case, you got to make sure the inside pressure and the outside pressure match, and maybe even a second wave to make sure if he squirts free, you've got someone to tackle him. And now 2 problems as I see it. First, you missed the kick, which granted was a long one. But second, you set the other guys up with great field position and enough time to maybe get downfield and get a field goal attempt of their own.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. Throwing to start the drive, Williams. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Moore. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. And that one will go down in the books as just a one-play drive and then 3 points tacked on to the end of it. They'll look to throw here on first down. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. 2nd down and 6 now from the 26. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He'll get this off to Swift. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
I really like the angles that the tacklers came from on that play. They secured inside, took away the cutback. The sideline's there, so you can only go so far outside. And they were able to close in and tackle him for a loss.
Yeah, they used your boy over there, the 12th man. Sammy Sideline, right?
Sammy Sideline. You know something? He tackles pretty well, too.
He's tougher than an airport steak. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. 1 second, all that remains. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we're at halftime here at Lambeau with the Packers taking the lead to the break. As we send you down the regular season, and everybody's excited for the playoffs, so we're just going to forget the halftime show and get back to the football. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Bears offense set to go to begin the 3rd quarter. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Looking to throw. Williams. Quick slant, caught by Moore.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on third down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep with the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. Play action. Now Williams. Quick hitter here. It's complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Now a 2nd and 2. Back to throw. Williams. And he will find his man on the outside. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Back to the running game with Swift. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 41 yards rushing for him now to this point. From the 5, 2nd and 4. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. DeAndre Swift with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bears are able to cut into this lead as they score on the opening drive of the second half. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
So that drive goes 8 plays, and it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Oh, a good return up past the 30. The home team's offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And you have to imagine this defense saying, how do we stop this guy? He has run roughshod through him to this point in the third quarter. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that and that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. And give him a gain of 37.
Another big play right there, and this is where, as an offense, you can really put the hammer down. You've got a double-digit lead, but those other guys, they've been hanging around. A touchdown here could put this game out of reach, and that's a strong step towards getting it done.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Running straight ahead is Jacobs, and nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. This is 2nd and 8.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the Bears' 30-yard line.
Off the play fake, Love. Short throw, he's got Kraft. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Love. He's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Montez Sweat able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And that's his 2nd sack in this one.
And you just can't ask a defensive end or an edge rusher to play any better than what we're seeing right now. And, partner, it's still just the third quarter. I'm thinking he's not done yet. Even if he's not getting a sack, he's bringing a lot of pressure to the pocket.
The kick by McManus is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So 3 points, response there to that opening touchdown of this third quarter.
And that's an important 3, both in terms of adding to your lead, but also letting the other guys know you're not going to just come out in the second half and take over.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Bears offense out there set and ready to go. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo, and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
They will run straight ahead with Swift. He'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28. Not the start to the drive they were hoping for. That run doesn't get them much at all.
No, not at all. And that leaves them with 3rd and long, which means you got to dial up something pretty good. Think your best player with a play that he likes to run best.
Fighting this, but now he's swallowed up and taken down. And this is getting ridiculous. 8 sacks now. That time multiple guys get to it.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Let's take it inside his own 40. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return, and they will take over 1st and 10. The Packers offense and receiver Jaden Reed headed onto the field. And you see the numbers for him into this third quarter. They just pop off the screen. He has been open throughout. In motion left goes Watson. Love, they go play action now. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Here we go.
Looking to throw. Love. And he slings one that's incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 86 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. And he held on to it too long. A coverage sack. Down he goes. That's Zach Pickens in there to finish that play off.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
On now is the Packers punter, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Pulled in at the 24. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
An 8-yard pickup. First down Bears.
From the shotgun, a throw for Williams. Going to throw right side here, complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Swift going to try up the middle. Shifts by him. And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. That's a gain of 13 as they try to whittle away at this 13-point deficit. First down, and they go with Swift again. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. And a nice gain of 21 yards. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Off the bootleg, it's Williams. His pass caught at the 4.
Holding offense.
So we'll get the penalty all sorted out when we get back. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. Here's a handoff to Swift. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
One more time with Swift. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
And they've just not been able to block him at all throughout this game. Seems like every other play, he's doing something in the backfield. Already got 2 sacks. And now here's a tackle behind the line.
To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Oh, this defense knows. 4th quarter, they need to make a play. That one was ripe for the taking. Could have changed the complexion of the ball game, but it winds up incomplete.
Santos' kick is up and through, and that gets them back within 10. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Green Bay's offense ready to go again. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Down the right sideline. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line.
Holding offense.
Well, penalties don't usually hurt as much as that one does. That is a monster gain wiped out by the flag.
And you and I both know that an offense only gets a couple of those big moments in a normal game. You've got to take advantage of them. When you give one away because of an avoidable penalty, that's a major disadvantage. Just steals away every bit of momentum you just generated with that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. To pass, here's Jordan Love. That's complete to Dobbs. It's a big play, yet amazingly, because of how far they had to go, they're still looking at a 2nd down here.
15 yards on the play. Brings up 2nd down at the 36-yard line.
On play action, Love to throw. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Dayo Odeyingbo picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
Play fake. Here's Love. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Offense.
So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And just a net of 31 here. 40-yard punt, 9 on the return. The Chicago offense set to get started. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Working out of the gun, Williams. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Now he'll let it go deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Back to throw. Williams. Being chased out left. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big 3rd down play. And they did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it. And he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
On 4th down, here's Williams. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Packers pick it up. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they sit in a good spot, having the ball back after the fumble recovery and up 2 scores in the 4th quarter. On the handoff, this is Jacobs. And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. And even 100 yards rushing for him now as he is finishing off the regular season with a bang.
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Love looking to throw it. He'll get this underneath to Jacobs. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Love from the gun on 3rd down. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to have a Packers 1st down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3.
1st and 10 at the 17-yard line.
They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
He's got the hook up with Dobbs. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it's 3rd and 4 now. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. To throw now, here's Love. And he's got it. It's caught from Packers touchdown. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Packers are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this 4th quarter advantage. An important score there, CD, and now an important extra point because it would make it a 3-score game.
Love the math there, and at this point in the 4th quarter, look, we all need next-gen stats, right? We all use them, but we don't need them here, do we? Because that means it's almost a certain victory.
McManus's point after is good, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Here's Williams. And that's out to the flat for Swift. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. So the pitch and catch good for 11. And that will bring up 2nd down. To the air, Williams. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Now he's going to go deep down the left side. And that's caught inside the 30. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Off the play fake, it's Williams. This is caught, and he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Rome Odunze, 27 yards. And the Bears have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you'd kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the lead is trimmed down to 10. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. So now out comes this offense led by their quarterback as they take over once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. Love now. And he rifles one incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10. Now Love. Short throw. He's got Kraft. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Play action this time with Love. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Well, still a long way to go, but trending upward. They scored the last time out, you remember. Then their defense forced the punt. Now they try to inch closer, but still ultimately down 2 scores in the final quarter. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Looking to throw is Williams. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers 16. To the air once more, Williams. Touchdown Bears! DJ Moore, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Bears have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. For quarterbacks, there are a number of ways to measure a good statistical season. This is one of them. That last touchdown pass, his 30th on the year. Santos with the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So that drive, 4 plays. And it concludes with a touchdown reception by DJ Moore. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And a nifty return there all the way across the 40. This offense and their running back headed back onto the field. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout. Here's Love. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. They'll run again. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
Love looking to throw. A short throw to Musgrave. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. The Bears offense and Caleb Williams set to go to work once more. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now. Here's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And this one is incomplete. Here's 2nd down. They'll look to throw. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you've got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Well, it took us until the final play, Charles, to officially decide a winner. Although on that last play they were so backed up, it would have taken a miracle, and they couldn't get that miracle done.
Well, I like how you stayed with it, because we both knew that this had to go down to the last play, and neither side was going to exhale until that play concluded, because we've seen the improbable before. A couple of laterals, maybe some poor defense on the back end. They might have gone all the way to the end zone. In this case, though, it didn't happen. Perhaps next time.
So for Green Bay, they do get that 10th win of the year as they finish up at 10-7 overall. And that is maybe not exactly what they were hoping for, but a better than average season nonetheless. Meanwhile, for Chicago, they go out with a bit of a whimper as they wrap up a very trying 4-13 campaign. And this front office will have plenty of work to do in the draft and through free agency to turn this ship around. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.